So you're mostly nervous, anxious, unsure of yourself and your abilities, and you have this crippling self-doubt that makes you think that everyone else is so much better than you, and that the only way to survive this would be for you to tiptoe around your talents and your dreams, simply because you don't want to embarrass yourself. But how sad, how heartbreaking, and what a waste of life that you can't get yourself together, get over this affliction, and shine your light to the world. All the gifts bestowed upon you wither and die simply because you are too afraid of what others think of you. It's even said that during a eulogy, most people prefer the casket than to go out there and give a speech because of their uncontrollable fear and debilitating self-doubt, so afraid of making a mistake and embarrassing themselves. And yes, this affects a lot of people, and this is why a lot of people have a lot of problems in their lives. Because how you do something is how you do everything, right? And if you don't find a way to fix this, if you don't stop your need to control your image at all times, you don't stop making every single mistake a death sentence, be sure to be accommodating to a miserable and mediocre life full of regret and disillusionment. But I'm sure that's not what you want. I'm sure you're willing to do whatever it takes to overcome this and become confident, and be willing to make mistakes because they help us grow. They help us clear the way for the things we want in life. And in this video, I'll give you a few tips that will help you jumpstart your journey to self-awareness and self-confidence, which will help you open doors and opportunities which were closed shut by your insecurities. But before we do that, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, here on this channel, I talk about how you can find your passion and go after it at any age, how you can find balance, even at the most difficult times in your life, and how you can be happy with the things and the people you already have surrounding you. So if you're interested, make sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, let's get to today's topic. So, number one is solitude. Right now, you're looking at things from the perspective of the very not diverse opinions of the people that you interact with on a daily basis. You are observing them, dismissing things, gossiping, and tearing down people's characters for no reason. So your subconscious mind is regularly getting the message that if you dare try, you'll be torn down and made fun of. Your exposure to negativity and criticism is shaping your understanding of what it takes to be accepted by others. And that would be to dim your light, not make a mistake, and do nothing. At least not something that will get you noticed by others. And you're right, the judgment and criticism amongst people can be really harsh at times, and something that makes you want to hide your authentic self and instead wear a mask in order to fit in to avoid backlash. And here is where solitude comes in. Your moment alone is a glimpse into what could be. It's a refresh button to the drudgery of public opinion and is a way to your untapped potential, free of the blocks of judgment and fear-mongering. It's a time for self-reflection and introspection without any outside noise polluting your progress. It's also a time to see all the BS that's out there without you yourself becoming judgmental or angry. Your time alone is the key to find your courage and your purpose in life, because it has the power to connect you to your higher self, something that you cannot do while you're surrounded by people and their strong opinions. You'll have the time to not only see the reasons behind these opinions, but also to see if they are truly powerful or not. Turns out that they're not that powerful because they're not the truth. Things you are told about yourself and you believe to be true might be the complete opposite of your true character once you free yourself and exercise your authenticity. Now, sometimes it could be constructive to listen to uncomfortable truth as long as it's meant to help you and not presented in a malicious way. But for most of this jibber jabber, only a small percentage is actually constructive. And when you consciously spend time alone, you'll develop the strength to depend on yourself more and more, making you less dependent on these comments and commentaries about yourself. As you do this, you'll develop the courage and fortitude to do things you've never done before and express yourself in ways you never did before. And guess what? You'll do this despite the possible discouragement and scolding from the world around you. And this is the power of solitude. Especially if you are the person who struggles with self-confidence and you have low self-esteem, spending time alone is actually going to help you see why you are the way you are and make it clear to you the things that you need to work on before you go out there and demonstrate your worthiness. Because your self-worth is not determined by the things you do. It's determined by how you truly feel about yourself and how much you value yourself. Number 2 is the examples, the OGs of survival and revival. The world is full of people with amazing comeback stories after going through devastating failures and questionable conduct. You would think that with their track record, there would be no way for them to redeem themselves, that they would be shunned from society, never to show their faces again. But to the contrary, many of the famous, influential, active members of society, sort of these movers and shakers of the world, are actually people with shady pasts, full of mistakes and embarrassing moments that could easily destroy the average man. But they're not average. In fact, they have this amazing ability to use these mistakes and shortcomings and transform them into some kind of a useful scenario of which they capitalize on one way or another. Now, I'm not telling you to do promiscuous things so that you can monetize them later. I'm just saying that there is a lot to learn, that you can learn a lot from this mindset of bouncing back from disaster and still being relevant and being able to achieve anything you want in life. Just observe the people who've done things that make you feel uncomfortable, that make you go, if I was the one to do that, I would never be able to survive it. But not only do they survive it, they also transcend this moment and become a completely different person, a better version of themselves, without letting this event in their lives define them. A lot of us are prisoners of our mistakes, our shortcomings, our perceived weaknesses, and we don't allow ourselves to escape this prison because we now have a belief system that tells us we're unable to, we just can't. And this is one of the major reasons why we stay stuck in one place in our lives and unable to move in any direction, because we ourselves stop trying. You can't let your past affect everything you do now. You can't let your mistakes become a life sentence. And you don't have to allow your false thoughts and beliefs stop you from pursuing things you want in life. Number 3 is master your craft. So one thing that makes you feel like an imposter and unsure of yourself is the fact that you haven't done your homework or your due diligence when it comes to your work or your side hustle. Whatever it may be, if you're not determined to achieve excellence in what you do, you'll always feel inadequate and unsure. And you'll have low self-esteem and no confidence in your abilities to perform and succeed. You have to realize that all of the individuals with amazing organizing, leadership, or speaking abilities weren't actually born with those gifts. They had to learn that and also put to practice what they learned while making many mistakes along the way. And in the end, they look like they were born with this skill because now they do it with confidence. They know what to do, and more importantly, they know what not to do. But they could have only known that through the repeated mistakes and their determination not to give up. You have to know your stuff. It's actually one of the best ways to build self-confidence, because you will not be unsure of yourself when you know your stuff.